newer releases. Anunnaki up on Filmsy. If you haven't watched it yet, it is available on the streaming platform. Hopefully more in the nearish future. Can never predict how distribution is going to go, but it's up there now. It's on iOS and Android, Google TV, Roku, all your favorites. Also, audiobook is out for this month. That is The King in Yellow, a selection from The King in Yellow called The Mask by Robert W. Chambers. It is about 40 minutes long, nice Art Nouveau story full of sound effects and some music that I played, in fact. Some stuff I had written a while back, but used for this. I felt it worked for the aesthetic. Also, Thursday, Film 3 Space. We have an interview on there. Chris hosts it. Should be good. The guy who's going to be coming on as our guest is a talker from way back. The session from 2 weeks ago is up on podcast platforms as well. So if you are looking for something to listen to, it's out there. I don't know what you've been up to, what you've been writing. If you can drop comments, that even helps guide the conversation a little bit. Stuff I'm working on right now is basically paperback for release this fall, slated for November. I'm making good progress. I am shocked with how far I am, though it's a lot of work. So I still have probably like 40% of the layout to do on that. And I'm hoping by the end of this month, if I'm like 80% done, I'd be very happy with that. There's a lot of month left, but we'll see. Gosh, what other stuff? Oh, I've got an ebook and audiobook that I'm wrapping up for next month. That'll be pretty cool. It's a longer essay piece on a topic that I like. I'll start promoting it towards the end of this month. Who wants to hear about a project that's not out when you have new stuff you just released this week? That's my sentiment on it. Other stuff that I've been doing. There's been, I got an article coming out next week for the writers on my Substack, so that'll get dropped into your inbox. No charge. Other things I'm working on, man, just bouncing between this stuff. I try and keep a handful of like short form stuff, long form stuff kind of in the hopper to work through and kind of keep pace with. There is a new development this week. One of the generative AI platforms I use and have been in the creative partner program for is revamping their partner program, and they're kicking everyone out at the end of this month. So I'm trying to use it all up before A, my credits run out, and B, the timeline runs out, because I don't know if I'll get readmitted. Hopefully I will. It has definitely caused a bit of a stir in the community. They probably had too many people in their partner program in general. They are whittling it down to maybe a 10th of what's in there, at least to start with. Maybe even less. I don't really know. We're all kind of speculating. I have reapplied, and, God willing, I'll get back in there so I can keep doing new stuff with that platform. Not to say that they have everything or they're the best. I think that in general, you want to explore all kinds of different tools, and this is applicable for video work or audio, or writing, broadly. I know I talk about using generative tools in tandem with more organic or analog stuff, and I think that's a good way of going about it. We only have so much time and have to delegate ourselves and the tools that we have towards the most effective use of that stuff. And if you want to be a writer and spend time writing, well, some other things like promotional videos, I don't really see a problem with using generative AI for promo videos. I don't really see a problem with it. Creating covers, if you get stuff you're satisfied with. Obviously, if you are an artist, a good artist, and you can manufacture that stuff on your own. I'm not, but if you are, then that's fantastic. If you have the budget for working with traditional artists, or even if you do some sketching and then clean that stuff up with AI, or even design tools like Illustrator, you can make a drawing there and toss it into other stuff and, clack on the keyboard a bit, and you never know what you'll get out of them. If you're good, you're going to get hopefully good stuff out of them. But I feel like there's maybe an equal amount of curiosity and animosity about tools and people's workflows. And honestly, I think that at an indie level, you kind of just need to be focused on turning out work regularly and building an audience that is supporting you regularly as well. And getting caught up in the ideological conversations about technology is probably going to slow down your output. So for me, generally, I'm not super concerned with stuff. I've always used technology to make art and media and be creative. So it's not a big stretch. I mean, if you're playing music and you're playing guitar and you're pushing electricity through that and you're recording and then you're doing editing on that for the best take, I mean, how big of a jump is that from editing to general manufacturing? Hey, what's up? Grab a mic. We're just talking tools generally. I am talking tools generally, and being able to stay creative as a result of using the tools. I hope you were recording. We'll find out. You're coming up. Let's see if you're live. How is it? Do we have you?
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm just moving spaces. What's up?
Yeah, just I was just kind of running down some of the intro stuff, and then one of the platforms that I've been a creative partner with is revamping that program, and they're kicking everyone off of it at the end of the month and making everyone reapply. I don't know if I'll get back in. Hopefully I will, but
what is it?
It's Luma. I think I've mentioned that one to you before.
Oh, yeah. They don't know what I don't. Yeah, all the 3D stuff is kind of, I don't know. It's
well, they're not so much 3D as video. I mean, they started out in 3D.
That's what I meant to say. I said 3D, but I meant video. Sorry.
Well, funny slip of the tongue, because they did start out with 3D stuff, but they pivoted over to video, and that's where they kind of had some traction with it. But now they're trying to make some inroads because they're basically trying to catch up to a handful of the other platforms that have really, just taken the lead on things, particularly Runway, who, their tools are fantastic, but also their relationships are really taking off. I mean, they just partnered with IMAX this month.
Really?
To do a showing towards the end of the month of work that used Runway. They've partnered with Lionsgate. I think that was announced last year. And then there was another production company that announced a partnership with Runway. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they've been around since like 2017 or 2018 with editing tools. And you could be like, oh, it's an overnight success in the last 2 years. No, they've been hammering for a long time to create a suite of tools for people to use and put to work. And it's finally started to really pay off for them. They also, I think, got a pretty decent cash infusion. If it wasn't earlier this year, it was last year. I think it was like a Series C with an evaluation, a pretty good evaluation. I don't remember exactly what it was, but either way, like their runway is good in the sense of like their cash on hand to do development and promotion and hiring. Their user base is good. Their work is good. Their technology is good. Their relationships are good. And like, here's the thing: they're very much an indie technology that's like making inroads into traditional Hollywood and production. But that is a model I think that everybody needs to be paying attention to, like regardless of whether you're doing video or you're doing audio or you're doing writing as we are. Like these platforms that we've relied on over the last handful of years are shifting and changing, or maybe they're offering audio ebooks now like Spotify. Maybe they're changing their payout slightly, like Amazon is doing with KDP and potentially doing with Audible as well. And you have to start really thinking about diversifying your distribution channels so that you can make sure that you're maximizing for yourself, but also that people are able to get you wherever they are.
Well, most people, let's be honest, most people are going to look on Amazon. I mean,
they are, but that's
it's like music, right? Okay, so most people are going to look to like the top 40, say, just as a, I mean, I realize it's changed now, but let's just for argument's sake. There's, and then there's going to be the people who are, the much smaller group of people who are going to be searching. They're going to go to the weird little record store and they're going to find, all the weird little albums and all the indie stuff and all the imports and all that stuff. But still, the majority of people are going to be looking to that top 40.
We're already the weird little record store.
Yeah,
so
I know, but
and our audiences are the weird little record store buyers.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, the thing is, I mean, what is KDP doing? What are they changing? I don't even, I'm terrible at paying attention to this stuff.
Earlier this year, they announced that they were changing the royalty payout for paperbacks priced under $9.99, I think it was. So I can't remember the exact
not affecting me
change on that. Yeah, but it affects a lot of other people, so that's
I know. I mean, because you can price your paperback wherever you want. I mean, I would just price it at $10.99, just add a dollar to it.
Here I'll read it to you. So it's anything under $9.99. So on June 10th, they changed the royalty rates for books priced below $9.99 from 60 to 50%. So that's in addition to the print cost and the other choices that you make in terms of paper and color and all this other stuff. For people that are doing strictly editorial and you're already priced above that, well, then you're fine in general. But for other projects, it's inhibitive for cheap novella stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know I'll figure out where to price the novella, but
hopefully, yeah. What were you working on? Were you recording today?
No, I was not recording today. I know. I got distracted with some other stuff. I've been editing The Fort very seriously.
Nice. Yeah, good.
So it's not like I mean, and there's life, I have to like do other things besides this.
Well, how far along into The Fort are you?
Editing wise?
Sure.
I'm a serious edit through the go through of the draft. I'm around Let's see. I'll just double check. I'm not that far in. I mean, I've looked through the whole thing, obviously, but I've done some hardcore editing. I'm at chapter 14.
Nice. Out of what, probably 45 again or something?
Yeah, yeah. Right. I just 46 now because I just split a chapter into two chapters. It was too long, and it made sense to break it up. So, like, what is now chapter 12 and 13 was before just chapter 12.
Gotcha.
So, and it was too long, and it was covering too much territory. It really split. I mean, there was a very, if you do that, sometimes there's a very clear point at which, you've just kept going, but really you started another section. So, I split those two. So then they're both. It was like almost 4,000 words. I feel like the sweet spot for a chapter is somewhere between, for me, I'd say, I aim around 3,000 words for a chapter, but sometimes it's a little less, sometimes it's a little more. But when you start hitting 4,000 words, that's a really long chapter.
Meh.
So, you know what I mean?
Whatever feels good, you know?
It made sense to break it in part for what was happening, because there was, yeah.
That's the better line of thinking, I think, you know?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and I think, people reading, we have a, we, it, you like to kind of have that break. People like to take a moment, read, have a little break. I have this much, or have the reading as a break from something. I can read this much today. Or I can read this much today. I can get a chapter in.
Yeah, that's fair. If they can predict about how long they will have to spend on your book. You know, what I really like, not only the people that read, but people that just collect, they just buy books. They just have them, read them or not. It's fine.
What there's a Japanese term for that.
I
Keep
don't,
forgetting it.
I don't know.
No, there is. There's a Japanese term for people who collect books.
I believe you.
Oh gosh, I have to go find it now.
Bibliophile. That's not Japanese,
No,
but
it's a Japanese word. It's almost like Sudoku, but it's not Sudoku, obviously, because that's the game. But my brain twists those two together, and I can never remember it.
is it like Sudoku in the sense that it is Japanese, or is it like Sudoku in the sense that the word is similar to the word Sudoku as we perceive it as English speakers?
Similar Japanese word that yeah, it's similar to the word Sudoku.
From our Western brains and ears.
Correct.
All right. Fair enough.
I'm going to find that word. It's been around on here, and I've even posted it.
Find it.
It's Sundoku.
Oh, okay.
Tsundoku. That's why I
Interesting.
say, see how so close it is to Sudoku? It's Sundoku. The TS, I think, is Sun, right? It's almost like Su.
Yeah.
It basically means to stack things up and leave them to read, So it's like the habit without, yeah. So it's the idea.
Jenga for books.
Yeah, but it's like it's yeah, it basically means you've collected them. It's like little pieces of hope. It refers to the act of acquiring books and letting them pile up unread.
Hmm.
A gentle, almost affectionate tone. I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's better if they read them, but what can you do? Can't make people
Well,
read.
it's what you're saying. I mean, yeah. I mean, the intention is always to read a book you buy. I don't think anyone buys a book saying, "I will not read this." It's just how many books. If you buy a lot of books all at once, you get yourself a little behind, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been trying to keep up with reading as best as I can, but
Yeah.
the really like physical reads are just out the window this year. I can tell you that much. Audiobooks I'm doing fine with, but
Really?
yeah, well, because I walk or when you're driving and stuff, you can listen. But
Yes.
the thing is, I mean, I did a couple of physical reads here and there for stuff I was just working my way through. But um, some of the stuff I listened to was so long that it pushes back the option to get into something else. So now I'm trying to kind of look at some like shorter stuff. I did a little bit of Cormac McCarthy this year. His stuff was a little bit shorter, or even rereads like the Road. You know, I own that physically, but I've never listened to the audiobook. So I feel like kind of revisiting that stuff. I think I watched the movie earlier this year, and then I was like, I should listen to that and see, you know, just how some of this stuff carries over. I think that's a really good line of thinking in general, like
The Road.
From a creative sense, like watching a movie, reading the book, listening to the audiobook, you know, all that stuff. And by extension, even listening to soundtracks. Speaking of which, I spent some time this morning. I needed to revamp the website for the Chicago 1893 project. This month is 7 years since I started that project here on Twitter as a long form thread. Yeah. I started in August of 2018. And I was like, you know what? It deserves is a little refresh on the website, because it was, you know, it was old. It was out of date. It looked like crap, I think, at this point. It was fine as a placeholder, but realistically, I just wanted to clean it up a little bit. I basically just took my website template and dumped it over there and moved some of the stuff around. So it's very basic, but at the same time, like, it is probably easier to navigate, and more importantly, it's easier to guide people to the endpoints that are point of sale. You know, that is, I think, what we as authors and creatives need to really be doing, not for, you know, each other so much as the broader audiences we develop, is like, make it easy on them to get to your thing, whether that's through like making social media. And like, you know, I'm looking at you, Eric, I'm looking at everybody who buries your links. Like, put that stuff in the first post, put it above the fold. Like, don't make me click 3 times to get over to the link that I need to click. Just put it there. There's only so many of us that are clicking through to these links, you know, for everybody, broadly speaking. And if you don't do that, you're optimizing for hollow engagement. I don't need likes. You know what I mean? I need click-throughs. I need reads. I need views. I need people making it easy for them to land on the point of sale. You know, I need them at the register. And when you make them do more clicking, you're creating this micro instance of potential distraction. Maybe they start reading the comments. Maybe they start seeing an ad. There's ads inside of these networks now when they click into stuff. So now they're going to see somebody else's ad instead of the thing that you wanted them to click on. And we have to maximize and prioritize not only our potential, but the ease of use for the people that find us by happenstance or follow us regularly, just because it's already tough enough. You know, it's already hard enough. You got these companies burying our indie stuff, raising the rates, lowering the royalty rates, you know, all kinds of stuff. They got algorithms plotting against us. You know, make it easy. That's my thing. And like, I realize, you know, they're deprioritizing posts with links, but what's the difference between a deprioritized post with a link and a post that's buried in a thread that doesn't get seen because people aren't clicking and scrolling and then clicking again and going to the next website and all this other stuff? I can tell you, mathematically, it's better just to have it in that first post. Having gone around all these things and done some of this testing broadly with different accounts and stuff, I mean, gosh, grab them, you know. That's my thinking. So back to the point here, the Chicago 1893 website has been revamped. There's only 3 things to do on there. You either go check out the documentary, check out the book, or check out the soundtrack. I took off the merch link. I took off the extended reality stuff. It was out of date. I had the short version of the AI cut of the documentary up there. No need, people don't need it. I don't need them watching that. I need them clicking through to where they can buy or rent the documentary or get the book, or maybe if anything, just listen to some tunes. I think on Bandcamp you get like 3 free plays. Sometimes people buy stuff, and that's what we are striving to do. I do need to find a new kind of packaged merch scenario. I think the one I was using, I don't know if they're still up or they did something. I don't know. Anyway, looking
Does
for
merch
that.
sell? I mean,
What's that?
it's merchandise. I kind of feel like it's better as like a loss leader. I mean, I don't really have any at the moment, but I'm just saying that
What do you mean a loss leader?
a loss leader, basically
Yeah.
something
How is
you
it a
lose
loss leader?
money on to
How are
make
you
money.
losing money on print on demand merch? A lot of these merch platforms function the same way that KDP does. So when people order a piece of merch, it's produced just for them and drop shipped just to them. So I mean, there's no loss leader on that.
No, I'm just saying I don't know I mean, I'm trying to figure out the point of creating merchandise. It's like it's really just a time issue in my mind.
Well, if you got a brand,
How much time do I spend creating this thing that isn't really the thing that I want to be creating? That's all I'm saying.
Depends on the size of the audience. And like for the Chicago project, that the Columbian Exposition as a topic, as a theme, as a broader brand outside of my project has a very large audience. I know that. People are regularly doing research on it and producing other books and other work and antiques. And there's a community around that thematically. They do buy merch. They have bought merch off the stores that I've had up in the past. I just haven't kept up with it because I've been doing all this other stuff. And it does take a little bit of time. But here's the thing. As soon as you develop some graphics, slap it on a cup, or you've got some images, put them on pillows, put them on cups, whatever. And find a little bit of time, test stuff out. We do these tests. We discover the viability of these tests, and what's the quote from Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park? It's you packaged it and then you slapped it on a lunchbox and then you want to sell it or whatever. That's yes, I'm there for it.
All right, I'm gonna just listen for a little bit. I got something I gotta do around now.
Oh Jesus, what do you gotta do?
Jesus, you. I have to go into the kitchen, and my kitchen is where the trolls are. So if I bring the phone in there, I'll drop anyway. But but no, well, I can leave the mic open, but I got to leave the phone outside the room.
I'll tell you what to do.
Well, so when you're talking mugs and stuff, it's usually like those weird dropship companies that make garbage products.
Okay.
So it's like I don't want to have garbage products connected to my things I care about. See what I'm saying? Because to me that leaves a bad taste in people's mouths.
You're making blanket statements.
Fair enough.
Because you don't know all these companies, and so you haven't tried all of these companies.
So the question is, are there companies out there that do that don't make junk?
Yeah, there are.
So that's the key, right?
Yeah. And that's what I'm asking, who are people using now,
Because I mean, I don't think it benefits you to have junk connected to your work.
No. I did some shirts. I had a hoodie. I had gotten a hoodie and I still have that hoodie and it still looks good. The problem is not the quality of the merchandise. It's the quality of the design that we are putting onto the merchandise. It's a bigger issue of our work going into that than it is of the manufacturing and production side.
Well, okay, I can put a great design on a piece of crap t-shirt, right? And it's still a piece of crap t-shirt. And I mean, maybe it's just me, but I would notice that.
Yeah, but you also misheard me.
Okay.
Because I said the issue is our design. So realistically,
But if you're putting it on a t-shirt where the fabric is made of garbage, where it's just like,
yeah, but the fabric's not made of garbage. Here's what I'm saying to you is that like you have to know how to design for those products. You can't think that the same design you're doing for a book is going to work over on, and by extension, plastics and fabrics and all the rest.
okay, I'm not so much saying that. I'm just saying it's like
I'm
there's the
saying that.
quality of the
That's what
of the
I'm saying.
material they're using.
Heidi, I heard you. I know that. I've already heard you. I've bought these things from different outlets, and yes, sometimes they're crap, but they're not most of the time crap. So these sorts of blanket statements about my artistic integrity and I don't want to just slap my stuff on these products, I hear you, but that's just a wishy-washy statement, and that's not the case about most of these places. The bigger issue, and I'm telling you this because I bought this stuff and I've seen the results of it, is the design. It is not the product.
What companies are you using where the product, I mean, because what I'm saying is
I'm not using any right now.
okay.
That's all I'm asking.
All right.
Cafe Press used to be decent a long time ago.
Is it? I don't know that it still is. That's the point I'm trying to make. I understand what you're saying about the design part, but I'm not even addressing that. I'm more concerned if I were to do something like that with one, how much value would it be? And two, I want to make sure that whatever company I use isn't selling junk.
Well, you can get test prints of them.
And then I would get into the design side of it. That's kind of like my third concern, honestly.
No, design first, quality of the product.
Well, maybe it's just that I have really high estimation of my design ability.
Yeah, well,
I think I do pretty
maybe good. You do. Maybe you do. That's not to say that it's good or bad. For books, book covers, I think you do good. For merch design,
well, I haven't
yet
done
to be seen.
So.
Right.
Fair enough.
But here's the thing. Brand design and extending out the ecosystem of our projects into these other places, one form or another, is something that you should be thinking about. Do you want to create super high quality stuff? Yeah, of course. But I also bought Air Jordans that fell apart like total junk when I was a kid. And, they were outrageously priced. This stuff happens. I'm not saying that it's good or bad.
Sure.
I'm not saying that you should do bad or put out crap. I'm purely asking, what are the places that are doing this that are worth looking at?
Well, that's my question too.
Yeah, but why even worry about any of that if you don't have a design? If you don't have anything to put on the merch that you're confident is good to go on the merch, why are you going to start evaluating merch stuff without having anything to put on it?
Well, but okay, I feel that I do. So
Okay.
that was the least of my concerns going forward. I know that I stand confident that isn't going to be my problem. Let me just say that. That's why I skipped over it. But yes, I agree. For anyone looking at it, yeah, you need to have what it is you're going to put on it in the first place. So my focus was more. It's like I'm confident I could do that. My concern was more the time. Is it worth it for me to do it? And two, and if I do it, where? Okay, so yes. So who do I go with to have a quality that I'm happy with?
That's what I want to discover.
Yes, that was my question.
Yeah.
So does anyone know?
I mean, beyond doing custom made stuff that you're then shipping out yourself, which is totally an option too. I mean, that's going to be, say you have access to a screen printer.
T-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. I mean, that's the number one way to go. I used to know people doing screen printing for fabric.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic. But here's the other side of that too. That cost is high upfront cost. And also you still have to do the design. You still have to drive the traffic. And then you also have to do the packaging and the shipping. So you're already talking about, I don't have the time to put together the design to evaluate the thing. Is it even going to be worth it? Hey, it's all, it all kind of goes together, I suppose, to a degree.
Well, yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to weigh with with all the other.
In your mind, what
in my
do you
mind
have? No, this is a question, new prompt. In your mind, what do you think from the design tools that you presently have and the design assets that you presently have is viable to merchandise from your books?
So I already made a laptop cover of my cover for the desert, which looks pretty cool. And I know it looks cool because when I've been out and about with it,
people
every
have said
cool
it looks
kid,
cool.
Yeah, they're like, "Where'd you get that?"
Every cool kid. Yeah.
Every cool kid. Yeah, the Apple store when my computer broke. He's like, "That's the coolest cover. Where'd you get it?" Anyway. So one person, that's my anyway. But the point is, so I did do that, but it's
So you have a sample size of 1 on that. All right.
well, the thing is, it's falling apart, and every time I bought a computer cover, they fall apart.
I don't buy computer covers. I don't, because I think that I don't think that that's actually a real thing.
Well, I did because it was my book cover, so
Sure.
it was fun for me,
Yeah.
But I'm
cool.
like, well, and then I've tried to do mugs. I looked at doing a mug or something like that, and
what were you going to put on it? I'll tell you what I'd put on it.
Right now I put the cover for the house that Jack built on something because no, I think it's a great cover.
I'm not telling you it's a bad cover. I'm just telling you I wouldn't put that on a mug. Here's what I would put on a mug. I would put the branded Songless and then just the eyes.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what's on the cover. I took the branding off. Dang it, there's a fly in here. I took ugh, I'm sorry, there's a fly in my kitchen. It's making me crazy. It's gonna land on food, and that's just gross.
Depends on your diet.
No, it really, really doesn't. So yeah, that's what I did on the laptop. I actually, but it's because it's my laptop. I took all the text off it. You're right. If I were to do something as a marketing piece, I would absolutely leave the text on it. And Songless would be the only thing that would really be needed because that's the overall brand.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is no background, just the eyes and the typeset for Songless.
On the mug?
Yeah, on everything.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
It's interesting. I don't know. I'll have to see what that looks like because I would have to strip them out. I don't know if I can. Because when you strip them out, it doesn't look very good. I'm just saying. I hear you. But you're losing the color palette too if you do that. Yeah, no, I mean, oh shoot, it's something I can play around with for sure. Yeah, so this is why I ask with all of the other.
That's what I would do.
No, I get it. I get why you would do that.
You could do, here's another one you could do. You could do just the cover with no words on one side and then Songless the Desert on the other side. When that would work for a t-shirt, that would work for a cup or a pillow, a bunch of different merch options. You could do.
What do people buy?
People buy cups.
I think cups is probably the main thing they buy, would be my guess.
I mean, they'll buy t-shirts and other apparel, but also like knick-knacky stuff. The other thing I would say for that you could extend into would be like the cover image for Jack's house, but not the title, because the title is a little bit generic. But you could then put the Songless typeset. I don't know. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. It is. I'm sorry. Like, it's not a bad title. It's just a very common term or a common phrase. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
That like doesn't necessarily connect your larger project in a great way.
No.
So like what I was going to say is you could have the cover image and then the Songless typeset on stuff as well with the Jack's house.
I mean,
image.
I'll have to work that out. With all the other things I'm trying to work out. I mean, definitely I'll have to figure that out. I'm missing a dog.
Uh-oh. See, and that's not to say that I dislike the title. I think the title's perfectly fitting for it. But at the same time, like when you are competing with a phrase that's in like the common,
I know,
just speech patterns in terms of SEO, man, that's going to be really tough.
Well, I like to make things difficult for myself,
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying optimize more around your name, optimize more around the Songless, and then the images if you're going to do branded stuff.
Yeah, well, Songless is the overall thing, so that one is the unique part of it. Oh, I found her. We found I found the dog. She's just taking a nap. Anyway, okay, yeah, I know. I mean, but I do like that image. I have other images, but I haven't used them for anything. They're not related to covers because I don't, that I've just made for myself, but they're not
public.
Well, yeah, only in the sense that I don't know where to put them. I don't really put pictures in the books, right? And a lot of it's like AI art, so most of it is, honestly.
Some of the illustrations you've made for Jack's house, those are cool. I mean, those could be some things potentially, like a set of things.
Yeah, those I could. Yeah, those. I mean, those are black and white. Those are black and white because they go in the internal books. So yeah, those could work for something for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff are you doing for it? You have T-shirts, you have sweatshirts. I'm gonna need a minute, Michael. I'm gonna mute.
It's all good. Well, here's what I'll say is we'll just wrap it up because we're about to close down anyway. And if you're heading off to do your thing, that's all right. We've been here for a while, and I do appreciate you coming in and talking and letting us explore these ideas of extending merchandise as authors, brand makers of creation, and being creatives and extending the work we do into new territories. Because I think that's important. We have just books, but people want to participate in a world, and something that they can be immersed in. And, it's tough to do that with only one thing. I think once you have like a series of stuff, and this is not something that I really have, like the national park stuff is a series, but I don't know how immersed into a series of national parks you get unless you're like hardcore national parker. But all the same, this has gone well, and we will talk again before too long.